Welcome to the channel. Usually I would say there's going to be links down below in the description box. Yeah, I'm not putting 37 links down below. I'm just going to have the basic WWE subreddit article, post, page, whatever it's called, down in there, and that's it. Top selling apparel on the WWE shop is currently Jey Uso with the Yeet shirt. I love Jey Uso, and as much as I love Jey Uso, I equally hate the fucking Yeet. I'm just being honest. CM Punk comes in at number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Awesome. The draw of CM Punk, fire. And it says here that you cannot deny the aura of Jey Uso at this point, to do it for so long when you have so many stars in a company this big. True. Very, very true. What wrestler do you wish WWE would give a second chance to be a main eventer and a champion? There's a large number of talents right now. And at one point, some of these superstars were in the main event picture and have been dropped to the mid-card. People like Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, etc. Personally, this person would like to see Shayna Baszler get a push. Me, it's Finn Balor. Finn Balor was the first ever Universal Champion in history with the red belt. Got the shoulder injury, same injury I have, at the hands of Seth Rollins. But it wasn't from Seth Rollins, it was from a car accident, but still. And my point is, he never really bounced back from that. Now I got something in my eye. And that's frustrated me because Finn Balor is just an absolute beast, in my opinion. I missed the whole demon thing. The last time we saw him was at WrestleMania against Edge a couple years ago. Or was it a year ago? I don't remember. But anyways, it's definitely out of that list really quick who I would pick. Finn Balor. 2 hours with less commercials owns 3 hours with tons of commercials, to be honest. Do you agree or disagree? So it kind of depends. I like more wrestling. And here's the thing. This is kind of hard to answer for only one reason. With the 3-hour show right now, the way it is, you get about 2 hours and 20 minutes, roughly-ish, of actual wrestling. So if you do 2 hours with less commercials, let's say it's 2 hours and there's no commercials, for example. Well, that's still 20 minutes less wrestling. 20 minutes is like a Rock segment. The final boss, man. I don't want to miss that. So for me, I always watch wrestling the next day anyways, and I skip through the commercials. It's essentially commercial free for me. So for me personally, it's whatever show has the most commercials. Or the show that's got the most showtime. My goodness. So I would probably honestly pick the 3-hour show for me personally. But if I was going to a live event, which I've only ever done like once, yeah, then I'd probably want the 2 hours. Someone said 1.5 hours. Raw should now be 2 hours. Hey, listen, I don't think so. WWE wrestlers with the most losses in history of the WWE. The Miz at 1280 losses. Kane. I don't want to read all these numbers. You could see them. Brooklyn Brawler. Kudos to that guy for holding on to that for like nearly 40 years. Dolph Ziggler. Randy Orton. See, it's weird because Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Kane, Randy Orton, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, Sheamus, Natalya, Jack Swagger, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Heath Slater, Matt Hart. It just shows you that you can have a lot of losses under your belt. But you could still be one of the greatest. I mean, Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champ. Dolph Ziggler is a monster. Randy Orton. Like, holy shitballs, the amount of titles that guy's had. Right? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, like one of my favorites of all time. Sheamus. Kofi. Triple H, Chris Jericho. Because no offense, when you look at a list like this and you go Heath Slater, yeah, you go Brooklyn Brawler, you wouldn't think that frickin' Randy Orton would have like the 5th, but they've also been wrestling for so long too. You have to take that into consideration as well. These guys have been around a while. At least most of them. So yeah, but I have to admit, it is shot. I never would have guessed that this would have been the list, to be honest with you. I never would have. I didn't even know Cody Rhodes was that high up there. Anyone else annoyed with the what? Excuse me. No, for me, it was funny during the Attitude Era, but now it's borderline. Well, I mean, it's the crowd doing it. Sorry, my throat's dry. I much prefer the whats over the yeets. Give me a Whataburger any day. And what I like is when you have a superstar in the ring and they're like, come this Sunday. What? You and me. What? We're going to face off. What? Like, I don't know. Maybe not like that much, but I'm just saying, like, when you can go in sync and blend it in back and forth. I don't know. I enjoy it a lot. It's nostalgic. Can it be nostalgic if it never went away to begin with? I don't know. I enjoy that from the crowd, honestly. It's that interaction you get with the superstars. Same thing with every time somebody gets a chop and everybody goes, woo. Like, I love that. I really do. The yeets? No yeet. None. Choose your next champion. So for this row right here, as much as I love my man, I mean, I love all of them. I love them all. I think the right choice. I really love them all. I don't think you understand the love I have for these guys. I'm giving it to AJ Styles. I mean, Jade is green as a date. Our daisies aren't green. That's the point. I can't say green as a cucumber. Sounds fucking weird. Speaking of green, probably between Jade and Naomi, honestly. I really, really, really like these two. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how much. Super talented. She's doing so much better this time around. But hey, I can only pick one. So probably between these two. Ooh. For this title. I mean, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get that belt, I think. But if I could snap my fingers, I think I'd like to see Drew or Finn in there. Probably Drew for now. So I'd go with Drew. Maybe, yeah, AJ. I can't decide between these two. Probably Jade. So AJ, Jade, Drew. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. Yeah, it's fucking Rhea Ripley all the way. I don't even have to think about that one. For the U.S. Championship, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, LA Knight. Not, I love Andrade, but I'm feeling like time may not be quite on this guy's side as much. So for now, I would definitely say him. And then when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship, I mean, Chad really does deserve... I hate his fucking character the way it is now, but if I put that aside and I just look at the physical prowess and everything, I mean, Bronson's really, really freaking good. These are all good superstars. I'm sorry, but I'm going with Chad. Definitely. Give me a second. I want to get something to eat. So I was gone for like 10 minutes, but obviously you didn't notice. So 2 wrestlers I would take on a road trip with would definitely be Karrion Kross and R-Truth. I'm sure I would love to be with others like CM Punk. Let's throw in CM Punk, to be honest with you, and like Triple H, but whatever. So that's who I would take along with me for the ride. So on Monday Night Raw, 4 days ago, did they just tell Jey Uso to go out there and kill time, or because it did seem a little bit awkward and odd, and I do agree, it kind of felt like misplaced. But he was just announcing that he was doing Money in the Bank. But it's funny how a thread on this came about because I was kind of thinking the same thing. So that means that other people must have been thinking it. But I didn't overthink it, thought too much of it, like I'm doing right now, until I saw this. They're struggling between him being a great comedy act and being absolute garbage when it comes to in-ring performance and enjoyment. What? He would be perfectly settled into a gimmicky move like Rikishi in our truth-style Wait, what? Are we talking about the same person? Jey Uso is pretty amazing, but apparently this guy's getting some thumbs up for that. I don't think they knew what to do. The ending of the promo especially, it seemed like he had something else to say before the music played. Yeah, it did feel off. Drew McIntyre is pretty much carrying CM Punk's WWE run. Ever since Punk came back and got injured, the only thing that's been keeping him and his existence in WWE relevant is Drew. I don't believe that. Drew's been a phenomenal heel, which is very true. Who knows how to keep people invested in his rivalry arcs, be it with those who are active in the Judgment Day or inactive like CM Punk. Him calling out Damian live on Raw or trolling Punk on Twitter is so much fun. I think Punk is equally carrying that weight. It's not just Drew. Punk's been around quite a few times. But yeah, of course he's helping because he's talking about it. The fans are chanting, he's reacting to it. I don't get how Drew is a heel, to be honest. Well, Drew, no, he is. I mean, what would you expect him to do? Injured, yeah. Some of these comments are a great example of why pro wrestling has professionals running it and fans who watch it. CM Punk is living rent-free in Drew's head. Hopefully Punk puts Drew over. Punk has to know he doesn't have many matches left in him. Yeah, Punk is more of a character at this stage of his career rather than a wrestler. His interactions and mic skills sells. I still think he's got some stuff left in the tank. But yeah, of course he's helping to carry. But I don't think he's carrying the whole run. What do we got here? Ricochet is leaving. So this is official. It's everywhere. Everywhere. At the end of the summer, it says his contract expires. And it just says, let's read it. What the hell's with that font? Ricochet has given his notice to WWE that he's leaving the company. He does not want to renew his contract. Simple as that. What do I think of that? I mean, I think it sucks. We have a lot of people. I think he's an amazing talent with the charisma of a bag of rocks. Not that that's everything. Not that you need to be a whole package like a Triple H or whatever. Because Triple H is right there, so I thought I'd bring him up. Yeah, so I mean, to be honest with you, I missed him and Braun doing their thing. That was pretty cool. It's not like I'm not going to miss the guy because at the end of the day and night, every superstar that comes into the world of professional wrestling brings a unique dynamic to that world. However big or small, they're contributing to it. But if he's gone and it means somebody else like Karrion Kross gets a little bit more time or somebody else, then it's going to sound rude, but so be it. Because I think our roster, look at me talking like I own the fucking thing. Our roster is a little bit too bloated, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. So it's going to be like, whatever. As long as we still get to keep Samantha. Because they're engaged. Anyhow. Does he go off to AEW? I don't know. But that's that. Last one. How long has this video been? Oh my God. 15 minutes almost. Did people actually used to believe wrestling was real? Absolutely. So I remember watching wrestling the very first WrestleMania before we even had a number tied to it. It wasn't WrestleMania 1. It was just called WrestleMania. Because they didn't know if they were going to have a second one. So back then, I used to be like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And I thought it was all real and everything. And then for me, where it kicked in was somewhat fairly early on. Like it was relatively early on-ish. it had something to do with Hulk Hogan. It was like, come on, man. Every time he hulks up and you hit him, you know he's going to block, right? He's going to throw you against the ropes. He's going to give you the boot, then the drop. And I remember one day going, there's no way someone is that fucking stupid that they just can't ever get out of the way because it's too obvious, like the setup for it. Like, it's not like it's coming out of nowhere, like an RKO from Randy Orton. And that's when I started feeling like, are these just actors putting on a show? However, what kept the magic alive for me is to think that it was still real was that if you look at, like, the Iron Man match, the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, how do you have that kind of in-ring chemistry with someone, the whole thing's scripted, but you make it look like it was move for move, like orchestrated, choreographed? It is absolutely insane. So here's what ended up happening to me. I went from believing wrestling was real, because I was a super young kid. Wrestling was real. Then I realized, well, it's real, but it's scripted. But then I found out that because it's scripted, that meant that all those moves they were doing, it wasn't choreographed move for move. It was just like they're just doing it on a whim. They might go over some of the moves they're going to do or talk to each other in the ring. John Cena is known for being pretty loud. But the fact that you can make a match that fluid when you actually don't know what's going on, I don't know. To me, it made it even more... I ended up having even more respect. It's not just two people like randomly going back and forth. They're letting each other do stuff to one another because they're helping each other, put each other over type thing. I know what I'm trying to say. My point is I went from being like, oh my God, this is the real deal, to, oh, it's scripted. Oh, but that means, oh, that's even more special, right? So, yeah. So again, I will say this, not to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I still think wrestling is real. Not fake. Scripted. Doesn't make it any less real, but I know what the person is saying. Right? I know what they're getting at. Some wrestlers, I think it was Big Show that slapped somebody. I can't remember, there was somebody else as well, too, that's like, oh, is wrestling real? Well, it's very real. They suffer way more injuries than people in the UFC because of all the acrobatics and all the high-risk maneuvers that they take. So, yeah, so it's real, but it's scripted. There's a definitive end. People know going in if they're going to lose or win their title or their match just in general. And, yeah, so now they have to, you know what I mean? Like when you fight a real person, you're going at it. You're not giving any thought to your opponent, that you're kicking his ass, that you're going to give them a chance to get some spotlight, or vice versa. If you're getting your ass handed to you, you're not thinking to yourself, okay, maybe at some point they're going to let me in on this. No. But in wrestling, you do, unless it's a squash match. But you see what I'm saying? So you have to really balance that out. And because you're actually not trying to hurt your opponent, like I said, it actually made me appreciate it a lot more and made me more confused as to how people can do what they do even more. So when I found out it was scripted, I feel like I'm running around circles here. So I'm going to end it here. You get what I'm saying. I don't make these videos too often, but I very much enjoy them. I'm not too sure other people feel the same way, but that's okay. I want to remain consistent on my channel and not just talk about Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, PLE, Raw, SmackDown, 2K24. Like, I want to try and, you know what I mean? So thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm, so they say, and trying to make me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and break off a solo Sakoan spike in your ass. And by the way, just for the record, it's your thumb, not mine. My thumb stays over here. Your thumb goes over there. where the sun don't shine. 6 ways from Sunday, 1 way from Monday. Okay? And if you want to subscribe, did I already say that? Then naturally that would be great. And if not, trust me, I don't blame you. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.